If more than half of Americans think that marijuana should be legal, then why are the feds still putting people in jail for this?
The suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in.
Marijuana is a plant. It has been used medicinally for 5,000 years.
Marijuana could very well be one of the most dangerous threats to an entire generation of Americans of any drug that we know.
And more vicious, more deadly, is the menace of marijuana.
With medical cannabis, we have no recorded death from an overdose in the 5,000 years it's been used medicinally.
There's no reason to assume that it is a good medicine or a bad medicine, but it may well be a quack medicine that provides no help to people.
Medical marijuana has saved her life. She would not be alive today, judging by all her friends with MS that have gone by the wayside since she has been using it.
That the core of the problem is marijuana.
This is not a medical proposition. This is the legalization of drugs that we're concerned about.
People depend upon marijuana to alleviate their symptoms of nausea and loss of appetite.
So there is not a body of evidence to suggest that this is a viable medication.
Yes, my daughter is a medical cannabis patient, and if my wife were here today, she would tell you that medical cannabis is the most effective medication for my daughter.
We have very good medication out there. When properly prescribed under doctor's care, it helps people.
When they're on other types of medication, find that they cannot eat, they can't sleep, they're in constant pain, they're constantly needing another pill.
Of course they feel good. That's why they take a drug. Does that mean it's medicine? Does that mean that it cures the situation? No, it doesn't.
It has been shown that cannabis effectively reduces the size of breast cancer tumors.
The federal government has threatened to punish doctors who recommend marijuana to their patients.
And the size of head and neck squamous carcinoma tumors.
Strongly suggesting that prescription writing licenses might be taken away for such action. We do not need to fight the war on drugs against sick people.
Asset forfeiture is a mechanism for the government to steal from its people. The government can come in, seize and take an entire multi-million-dollar property.
Despite the fact that these marijuana stores operate in violation of federal law and oftentimes in violation of state law,
they don't need to get a conviction to create a forfeiture. They just charge it and they say they want it and they take it.
Federal law is supreme, and the state proposition notwithstanding is meaningless.
The federal government has a system called equitable sharing. It has this standing deal with municipalities, counties, and cities that they will get 80% of whatever the federal government recovers from them.
Last week we sent letters to the landlords and lien holders of these stores, putting them on notice that marijuana is being sold and used on their property.
You want to know why these dispensaries are being shut down and why the government is doing what it's doing, whether it's the federal government or the state government, you follow the money.
Help us stop the political madness. Log on to caremmj.com to join the movement.